I was my mother's emotional dumping ground since I was 8. My name is Ife. I'm a 29-year-old divorcee. I will get to why I'm divorced later. I'm the first child and only daughter of my parents. My immediate younger brother is 25, so we are 4 years apart. We lived an average life in Abuja. My father was a civil servant and my mother a teacher in a private school. A few days after my 8th birthday, I heard my parents raising their voices at each other. I was surprised because I had never heard my parents exchange words before. My mother respected my dad, so this was new to me. The next morning, on my way to school, I asked my mom about what I had heard the night before. She said, "Don't mind that your useless father. He wants to end me." Looking back, I wish I never asked that question. I remember asking her follow-up questions. "End you? How?" She just waved me off and said, "Don't worry, Ife. You just be a good girl in school." Those words occupied my mind the whole day in school. My father wants to end my mother. Why? How? I was not close to my dad, but I knew he was a good man, at least to my siblings and me. That first exchange of words was just the beginning. For the next 15 years, the argument between my parents never stopped, and I found myself caught in the middle. My mother had no real support system, only one close friend, Auntie Stella, who she used to confide in about her marriage struggles. Whenever the fights got too much, my mother would go to Auntie Stella for comfort. But when Auntie Stella got married and relocated to the US with her husband, my mother had no one else to turn to. So she shifted all her pain and burden on me. I was forced into the position of my mother's friend, confidant, therapist, all at once, and I hated it because I could not complain. As my parents grew older, their fights became worse. One time, my mother used a pestle to hit my father's head when she caught him talking to another woman on the phone. Another time, my father locked her out of the house overnight because she stayed too long in church. By the time I got into uni, I was happy and relieved because I thought I was free. I deliberately chose a school far from home so they could not bring their problems to me. But my happiness was only for a short while because my mom would still call me to report and complain about my dad. At some point, I started ignoring her calls because the emotional burden was just too much. I would say to myself things I wish I could say to her. "Mommy, I'm only a child. Your child. Stop telling me these things." One thing people don't tell you is how hearing only one side of the story slowly makes you resent the other parent. Over time, I began to dislike my father, not because of what he did to me, but because of everything my mother poured into my ears. Towards the end of my uni days, I met Shino. He was everything my father was not. Too fine, too good. We began dating. He was my safe space. I told him everything because I trusted him. Right after NYSC, we got married. I wanted so badly to never go back to my parents' house, so I rushed into the marriage. Because of this rush, I had not healed from all the traumatic experiences I had in my parents' home. And I had not spent enough time with Shino to truly know him, to know if he was emotionally and mentally ready to take on this huge baggage I was bringing along with me. At first, the marriage was going well. We were in love, he gave me everything I wanted and he treated me well. But just a month into the marriage, Shino would make reference to my troubled home. And by the way, if you ever want to share your story, you can send me a DM or an email to the email address on your screen, and I'll tell your story completely anonymous. Nobody will know it's you. Now let's get back to the story and my upbringing. At every little mistake I made, it was as if I could not do any wrong in his eyes. Any small thing I did, he would say, "That's how your mother used to behave," or "Am I not better than that your useless father?" The verbal abuse was so much. I endured it for 2 years until one day when my mother came to visit us. One thing led to another after I forgot to bring my husband a bowl of water to wash his hands after serving him some swallow. He started insulting me and my mother. My mother came out of her bedroom shocked. Shocked because 1, he knew so much about her and my father's fights. 2, because he didn't care whether she would hear him or not. My mom didn't hesitate at all. She began raining curses on him and questioned his upbringing. She now responded to her hot. After the long heated argument, he sent her packing, telling her never to return to his house anymore. His final statement to her was, "You gave me a broken woman to manage as a wife." Rubbish. He thought of me as broken. The next day, after he had gone to work, I packed my things and moved out of his house. I left a goodbye letter telling him that I was going to send the divorce papers when I settled down, which I did after a couple of weeks. I got an apartment and finally paid for the therapy sessions I had been saving for. During the therapy sessions, I found out I was even more damaged than I thought. For once, I understood Shino. Honestly, I wouldn't want to be married to someone like me either, but slowly I began to heal, one day at a time. I don't speak to my parents anymore. I only send them money when I have or when they need it. A few months after I sent the divorce papers to Shino, he came looking for me. He apologized and said we should come back together and try again. I'm confused because I'm not done healing. I still have a long way to go, and my peace of mind and health are my priority right now. But I also want to have a loving family of my own. Should I let him go, or should I tell him to wait for me? What if I lose him to another woman because he had to wait too long?